So basically, there's this porn star, Brandy Love, and she calls Turning Point USA a religious cult after being banned from the event.
Yeah.
So it was kind of a big story. So
Yeah,
basically,
I
this porn star.
I saw her momentarily on Chrissy Mayr's live stream thing.
Right. So I thought it was such something that I felt like I've been predicting for a long time. And basically what I said was forever, the right was all taking joiners because they're like, you can come over here. And they go, there was a few staunch people being like, just so you know, like that's not actually conservative. You know, a few people holding down, they're like, well, we actually are. But most people were like, we think that there's all these cultural movements. We want them to join our thing so we can fight the common enemy of what we consider the, left-wing crazy
I mean,
people.
they literally went from like, hey, these ice cream flavor names are bad to like porn's cool. And now they're like, all right, maybe.
Well, now they got a little bit more power, a little bit, I think the fucking left crazied themselves out. And now, on top of that, things are a little calmer in the world a little bit right now than they were a year and a half ago. And anytime you see a little lull in, there's not really a new, whether it was like the vaccines, the riots, there's always something going on, right? So it was very easy for like the different factions of liberals and the different factions of conservatives to band together, right? Mm-hmm. Whereas now things are a little calm, and as soon as things get calm, you see infighting. It's the same reason why, like, when a country's at war, everyone's kind of together a little bit.
Yeah.
And then as soon as they aren't anymore, you really see the people in the country start to fight.
Sorry, yeah.
And that's what's happening with this. It's like these people were so clearly at war. If you're left wing, you go, we hate Trump. That's really what we hate. Mm-hmm. If you're fucking right wing, you were just like, we hate liberals. Really, that's kind of what these crazy. And then what happened in the last little bit is that fight got a little murky. And then you see all the different groups of liberals, like the Bernie people and the fucking, the neoliberals, you would call them, the Democrats, basically. They're all fighting pretty hard. And that those fights, you see Jimmy Dore fighting with like the Young Turks guy.
Jimmy Dore like went from like this really like leftist dude.
Well, he is a leftist dude.
But he's kind of like it seems like he's kind of moving.
Well, no, I mean, that wouldn't be my interpretation. My interpretation would be the like principled sort of leftist people always hated like the Democratic establishment. Mm-hmm. They got tossed out to what would be called like the dirtbag left kind of thing, right? Yeah. But they always hated like. So I was watching this documentary, and it was the United States of Amnesia about that guy, something Gore Vidal. Do you know what that is? Gore Vidal.
Yeah, Gore Vidal.
And he was kind of like an OG, leftist. So it was like about free speech, and then he was also about. Like the Democratic establishment just being as bad as anyone else. He was like, I used to be naive enough to think that who was the president mattered, all that sort of stuff, right? Like, I guess you could say it's not left or right. It's like red pilled and not red pilled is probably a good way to like separate these fucking people.
Yeah.
But when you see like a Jimmy Dore, it does go to say, you go, Jimmy Dore would probably agree with this porn star. Like, so this porn star is kind of in a situation where she goes, okay, those liberals are fucking nuts. You know what I mean? Uh-huh. Like, I don't know if you saw recently, like another big one going on, and it's like the fucking Men's Health posted this article, but it's like they posted like a pregnant non-binary emoji.
Yeah, the pregnant.
Right.
They're coming out with the pregnant guy emoji.
So the fucking the left establishment is pretty much like down with here's a fucking man with pregnant belly, and this is just should be like you should be like perfectly that's what it is, right? Yeah. And it's sort of like. So for someone like her, she's like, okay, so I'm not that.
Yeah.
She goes, okay, those people are fucking nuts.
Of course.
And she's like, maybe I like these people because they have a common enemy. So she'd probably agree more with like a Jimmy Dore person. He wouldn't care if she's porn, but she starts thinking, oh, maybe I'm a conservative.
Yeah.
And then at first, because she's like making fun of liberals, they go, look even she thinks this.
And
like,
she's popular, so they're like, we can use this.
Right.
They're like, oh, she's like, people know who she is. They can use it for their like weaponize it and kind of get it.
Weaponize it. They can weaponize it.
And then they're like, oh.
But then when it comes to actually like, can we come to our event? It's like, well, I mean, no.
Yeah, you're like, we're conservatives. They're like, we're like all Christian conservatives.
Yeah, and I don't really think there's anything like. To be honest,
it's like 40 videos of you getting DP'd by like.
if it would be almost hypocritical of these conservatives to be like, hey, we're for conservative values. We're for like God. We're for this. And like a porn star is going to come and be like, hey, I'm this. And you go,
they're literally like, we don't like swearing. They're like, we're not even like cool with swearing. Like you can't take the Lord's name in vain, and you're fucking doing like these crazy porn videos.
So the only thing these people agreed on is that they hated these fucking crazy liberals. So, but then it's like these people, they go, don't we hate that? And then they get together and they realize they hate each other too. They go, oh yeah, we have nothing in common.
Did she banned, like, was she supposed to speak, or was she just like not allowed to
I think she was going to
attend?
speak, yeah.
Okay.
And both sides now, because she fucking put her, she goes, I'm not going to say that there's pregnant, whatever, dudes and all this stuff. So they're basically the conservatives, the Christian conservatives, and the other people are having like, I don't want her. And then there's like other right-wing people who go, well, we need to take people like this because it helps our movement. And then the other people
we
are
just
like,
need soldiers. We just need more.
we need soldiers.
We just need numbers.
And then the other people are like, well, if we take people like this, then what are we even conservative? Are we even conservative?
Totally. Yeah, we have to rethink exactly like what we even think.
Yeah, so it's a funny. I mean, I wouldn't want to go to that dorky ass fucking turning
It's the
point
lamest
event anyway.
Yeah, it's the lamest thing ever. It's just like a bunch of dudes who come in 10 seconds and then Brandy Love.
Pornstar wants to. But it's, literally.
Yeah.
It's a weird.
Like, imagine all those guys be like, hey, Miss Love. Big fan of your work.
You know who fucking always retweets my stuff? Eva Lavia. Do you know who that is?
Yeah, she was also on the.
She
that was
got
her.
banned too?
No, it was her. No, but Chrissy Maris thing was Eva Lavia and.
Well, she asked me to do her thing, but it was like kind of one of those times when I was like, I fucking can't do any more press. But
yeah.
She she was smashing me. She was really happy with my quote where I go, a lot of people, there's like cowboy lifestyles, and people try to say that they need to normalize them, but it's like, no, you just weren't suited for this if you need it normalized. Like if you sign up to be a cowboy and then you go, we should actually,
Yeah, of course.
so that I always talk about that, but I don't know if you remember back in the day when we first moved here and Kendra Sutherland was down to smash.
Yeah, I remember that.
He was hitting me up.
Yeah.
Case up, but I didn't fucking pursue it.
No.
Nah, I didn't really. I wasn't really that guy. But it is interesting though. Me and Danny were joking around a lot, saying that it'd be funny, like you go on a date with Kendra Sutherland. She's like, "Hey, do you mind picking me up at work?" And she goes, "Oh, where is she?" Like, "Oh, just at my coworker Mandingo's house." And she comes out the door walking funny, and then we're saying she go to your car, and then she has to put down one of those O's.
yeah. She's got to sit on the donut. Mandingo opens the door. You're like, oh, hey, Mr. Mr. Dingo, or is it Mandingo?
My date
is Kendra home? I'm just here to pick up Kendra. And he goes, yeah, she's just cleaning up.
Yeah, she's just cleaning up. Yeah, she comes out. Her mascara's on. Yeah.
She goes, yeah, and she's totally mascara one, totally normal. She goes, I just need like 2 minutes. She goes, yeah, okay. And you got to like make small talk.
She tries to bring her work home.
You got to make small talk with Mandingo in the fucking vestibule. She goes, so.
How was work today?
Yeah, this is cool. What'd you guys get up to? Actually, don't even tell me.
Yeah, so you got to get.
It's been raining a lot. Just to make a small talk with
New York
Mandingo.
rains too much, eh? Dingo?
Hey, Dingo? Is it Mandingo or is that your real name? Is Mandingo your real name?
How'd you get into
it? How'd you settle on Mandingo? How'd you pick that?
Yeah, so I don't think that would have worked. But there's I saw a Christian was one thing that was making me laugh is that when I was at Dundas Square filming this week, there was like
Dundas Square.
Or sorry, Times Square. There was a which I guess it won't be Dundas Square anymore. But there was a Christian guy, right? And he was.
What do you think? What do you think it's gonna be? Young and like it's gonna be like what? Young and Black Lives Matter Square or something?
Yeah. Young and Trans Lives Matter Square.
It's gonna be like a really like fucking wordy thing too.
It probably will. Neurodivergent. I'm hoping it'll be Young and Neurodivergent Lives Matter.
Young and LGBTQ plus P whatever. Like every.
So there was this guy. He's got like his megaphone, right? And he was doing sort of like a Black Israelite thing, but for Christian.
Do that megaphone act out.
Danny's got me in the scope right now.
If you're listening, you might want to watch that.
So the funny part to me was he was talking about he's in the square talking about that's my favorite thing that the black comics do. They go, my buddy's out there talking about like, you don't say talking. He was talking about, and then they say talking about. This guy was yelling. He goes, I was a drug addict, this and that, and I found Lord. I went to jail 40 times, and I found God. And it was like kind of like a crusty looking white dude. And he was like, and you too can turn it around. I was a devil's man.
Is he the Hellfire
I turned it
guy?
around. But we're saying like, it's funny because he was like, I was, doing heroin, and now I've turned it around to be a raping lunatic.
Yeah. Is he the dude who like looks like he's hosting an open mic in Times Square?
I
like
guess
with the
so.
chairs?
He didn't have chairs. No.
Oh, because there's one right around Times Square where there's like he sets up chairs. It looks like it's like he does like a church service.
Yeah.
But it also looks like a shitty open mic.
Yeah. There wasn't this guy. There's a few different ones, but I just love the idea of that he's sort of like, you too could get your life together. It's like, but you're not like a success story. You're like a raving lunatic in Dundas Square.
I mean, a
in fucking Times
success,
Square.
literally like his success is just like not being in jail.
Yeah.
Which I guess for him is a success.
But for anyone else walking by Times Square,
But you're
like,
not Tai Lopez.
you
over
literally,
here, like,
the only people you're talking to are homeless people. That's what I meant saying.
yeah. He's like the Tai Lopez of like crazy people in Times Square.
That's the only people that you might get is like some guy about to do heroin, and he's like, you can be me one day.
Yeah.
Instead of doing heroin, I could upgrade to lunatic at fucking Times Square.
Yeah, like he's like, I read 40 pamphlets a day. He goes, you too can read 40 pamphlets
He's
a day.
the homeless Tai Lopez.
He's the homeless Tai Lopez.
I read. This is
this
is my subway pass.
He goes, I have 3 different e-scooters, all stolen.
Yeah, he's the Tai Lopez of fucking.
You know what's by the way, fucking that I say that I've noticed this like maybe in the last like couple months because do you ever see outside of your house like because you live in like that whatever weird area where all these like those weird dudes have like the city bikes? They all just have city bikes, but like they don't have city bike. They stole them.
They stole them.
So I ride the city bikes, and so this is a thing I've like seen like maybe in the past couple of months where like people have figured this out, where they jimmy the fucking docks because when you leave your bike back, like it locks in,
so it doesn't.
So
lock.
they're basically they're fucking with the docks so that you put your bike in and it doesn't lock.
Yeah.
And then like I guess you're like drunk and you just leave it and you go home and then they just like pull them out and now they have like a fucking bike.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's spreading around the fucking like the bike stealing community because they're like I've noticed it so like I went to somewhere recently and like I went to a dock. There were 2 docks and there were the ones on the very end and both of them didn't work and there were the only 2 available. So then I went to another one, same thing. The 2 on the end, both of them didn't work.
Interesting.
Yeah. So it's a little fucking racket going on of people stealing city bikes.
They're out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, our buddy Johnny has 2 scooters. He got 2 different scooters stolen.
Scooter life is a crazy life if you don't live in an elevator building.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah,
I threw mine out because it was too small for me, and I just fucking tossed it. I didn't toss it. I just left it outside. Someone thought they stole it, but I just left it.
Joke's on them.
Too. Yeah, I just put it out there. But the other thing that's coming with this, so just to wrap up with this, the porn thing, which was to be expected. It is like such a weird time for all that stuff. I think people are all having like a rejigging of their identity because it is true when you go, who does the porn stars align more with? And you look at like, when we think of like Barstool and fucking those guys that are the Nelk boys or whatever, like that would be considered not part of the, the fucking...
It would be like the Barstool conservatives, I guess.
Yeah, that's what they call them or whatever. But it's like, those are the people walking around with supermodels right now. Like those guys are out there with like, hey, here's my fucking supermodel girlfriend. And then, if you, because it's all about like, how do you convince fucking kids to be shit is like, you go, I want to be that.
Yeah,
So you look, if you're telling some kid in college right now, he looks at those guys and they're like having fun, smoking hot chicks. And then you look at, whoever the fucking left-wing version is, you like, what, your girlfriend's trying to be a boy and she's got armpit hair?
Totally. Like and you're just like, all you do is complain.
All you do is complain and your chick's fat with fucking a buzz cut.
You have no fun. Like your life is literally about like just never having fun. It's like, you know what it is? They've become like the stuffed up kind of like Christian people where they're like, it's wrong to have fun.
Yeah.
Like they just went the other way. cool to watch.
However, following her removal from the event, the 48-year-old took to social media to condemn it, saying that the group is a Trojan horse for organized religion. And it was like...
Yeah, no shit.
Yeah.
Trojan horse for Turning Point USA? It's like saying like the fucking church is like...
Wait a second.
Wait a minute. You guys are Christian?
You're at the service.
What?